true colors have grown.
What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and another week where DSP loses his mind yet again. And we start on Sunday with that being said, who is a throwback to PewDiePie and the only comment he ever left on DSP video. So PewDiePie, in 2010 under Sonic Colors, this game looks amazing. Whenever I hear the checkpoint sound, I nostalgia hard. That's all he said. He liked the game. He didn't say anything about DSP. And what did DSP think about this comment here? Yeah, people think I'm full of shit when I say he was a fan and I inspired him to make playthroughs. I'm not, lol. That's what he got from that one comment. But of course, DSP inspired everyone to do everything. He invented the internet, dude, and speaking into a microphone. And then Poems Past points this out. DSP no longer does private reacts, but his Patreon still guarantees you'll get a private react once a month for a pledge of $50 or more. It's almost like it's a violation of terms of service. And then as soon as he starts the stream, we have this person, Porter Rog. I'd rather kiss you at a meet and greet rather than emu. And of course, what DSP did was that streamer that got assaulted and kissed against her will at TwitchCon. He made it all about himself, saying that he's glad he doesn't have a parasocial relationship with his audience. And there's no friendship, there's nothing like that. And then goes on to say that people need to get real lives. They need to go out. They need to touch grass. They need to form relationships and friendships with people and not be stuck in the house all the time. And remember, this is coming from DSP, who stays in the house 6 days a week, only goes out to grocery shop, has no friends, his wife won't talk to him or likes him. But of course, DSP is the big brain with a business degree. And then Porter Rog sent 50 gifted memberships. However, it looks like it was a troll. As we have this, under the Low Tier God Reddit, Porter Rog with a fake gifted rug pull though. Oh fucking shit, shout out Porter Rog for the refunded candies. And you see Low Tier God, and it says $5,000 gone. We have No Scope Musical. Porter Rog turned out to be not only a real person, but an undercover troll who just cost Dale thousands of dollars. Has to be plot twist of the year. Talk about playing the long game, and Unk needs the money. I'd be sick too. And then DSP announced a $100 anonymous tip. What a shock that is, anonymous. And of course, DSP always says, if we hit the goal of $150, I never have to mention goals for the rest of the stream. I don't have to talk about money. I can just enjoy the game. But guess what happens when he hits $150? He keeps talking. Guess what happens when he hits over $300? He keeps talking about the next goal. And it keeps going on and on and on. The greed is endless. And he believes just because he got over $300 on the pre-stream doesn't mean he shouldn't get any money on the stream. And he tells people, let's rally for another goal so I can do DSP Tries It tomorrow.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for the $2, whoever that was. So guys, we are currently at $347 of support. Yes, we had a tremendously well-supported podcast today, if you can't tell. If we hit 450 by the end of the Silk Song stream, which is in about an hour and 40 minutes, we'd hit another goal. That would put us in prime position to do DSP Tries It tomorrow. So if you like Silk Song, please support the stream. I know it looks like, oh, Phil did really well today, he's good. But if we get to 8 goals today, that means we do a stream tonight of Truck Sim. We almost always hit the goal there, and then we can actually hit a goal and do it tomorrow. I would love to do DSP Tries It tomorrow. Okay? So please, let's get some support. How about some subs over on Kick, of which we have 2 this morning. How about some kicks? I think we only had 1 person who gave any kicks this morning, right? How about a super chat? How about a membership? How about a tip? All right, let's go. Let's hit that goal of 450 by the end of the stream. Guys, like I said, we're at 350 of support. If we get 100 more, that means 3 goals, and that means only 2 to go. We can do DSP Tries It likely tomorrow, but we need more support for Silk Song. Like, literally all the support today came in on the podcast. Since we started playing Silk Song, we only had about $15 of support. So if we can get some more, if we can rally and hit that 3rd goal, that'd be perfect, so that we can do DSP Tries It tomorrow. All right. So if you like Silksong, please support the stream. All right. I will be. Look at those. Bro, there are a lot of trolls on Kick today. So suck my butt. And I will return in just a couple of minutes. Be right back. Okay, so I received no support whatsoever since I asked for some. Thank you so much. Okay, well, let's continue, guys.
And if you're wondering how well it's going for DSP in Silksong, let's take a look at this clip right here.
Fuck.
And remember, DSP doesn't drink sugary drinks. He doesn't drink alcohol a lot. But says now, he eats turkey pepperoni and cheese with wine a lot recently. That is right. He is now a wino. This is absolutely hilarious. So DSP himself has said, at the night stream, he sprays cologne on himself so he can smell better. Even though he's the only one in the room, which means he must really smell or that room smells. And he's now gonna accuse people who wear perfume or cologne that they have no sense of smell or don't bathe. But remember dudes, DSP only bathes or showers once a week.
Seriously, I tend to go for brand name in a perfume industry, but not necessarily a designer branded fashion. Because it could be cheaper and you always want one that lasts 12 hours. Yeah, that's a very good point. Very few colognes, perfumes will last a solid 12 hours. There are some though. There's some that I'll put them on in the morning and it'll be, I'm heading to my second stream. So you're talking, I put it on at like 9 in the morning, right? I'm heading to my second stream at like 7 at night. And I'm like, I can still smell it on me. It smells great. And then there's others that you spray them, and then within a few hours, you can't smell them at all anymore. Like, what the hell happened? This isn't even cheap. Like, why is it gone? Like, what is going on here? That's true, too. In some cases, people pay top dollar to smell terrible. I can't stand those old lady perfumes. The ones that infamously old women wear out to restaurants and churches and shit. Because the worst is church. What would happen is when I used to, I grew up Roman Catholic, and it would be like dead of summer, right? And you go to church, and the church doesn't have air conditioning. So what they do is they open the front door, the back door of the church or whatever when it's hot. And they would do that, and the old women would wear the stinky ass perfume that just permeated. It was so effing strong. It's probably because, let's be honest, they're old, so they can't smell so well anymore. So they buy the most pungent, singeing your nostrils smell. And then you sit down in the pew, you're like, what is that? It's them, they're 2 in front of you, and you can stink. It's like there's a dagger going into your nose. Oh my God, so you gotta try to find another seat. You're in a church, open air church, and you're permeated with scent you can't avoid. What is going on? That used to happen all the time back in the day. I don't know about it anymore. My church that I went to didn't have great air conditioning, so maybe now the newfangled churches are different, but I can just imagine getting stuck with these people with the stinky ass perfume. Even cologne too, the stanky colognes. The ones for people who I guess don't bathe on a regular basis, so they just toss on cologne instead. Goddamn, dude.
DSP always claims he's the smartest person in the room. He's a big brain. He's street smart, not book smart. And what you're gonna hear right now is him revealing that he's neither book smart or street smart. He went to the BMW dealership and just straight up said, I'm making a lot of money, what can I get? What a mark.
So I knew for a fact that literally 5 minutes away from where I lived, there was a BMW dealership. So I just basically went there one day and I said, listen, I make big money all of a sudden. And I've always wanted, to just drive a decent car. And I said, what can you tell me about the BMW's features? And basically they told me all the shit I didn't need. But the 2 words I heard were great brakes, okay? And basically full service. Here we go.
He also then goes on to say he didn't have time to cruise around with the BMW because he was doing YouTube full time. Why did you get it then, Phil? You got a car, an expensive car, that you're paying out of the ass for, and probably marked up because your mark went into the dealership. I'm making a lot of money, what can I get? And you don't even use it. What a mark, what a loser, what a dumbass. He also thought he had to go through the BMW dealership for repairs, and he said no regular mechanic would be able to get the parts or know how to fix his car. And also, same guy who said he never changed his oil because the dealership never called him to tell him to change his oil. And this happens every single week in Truck Sim. You ready for this? You're never gonna believe this. He's at $69 and says if the goal is not hit, he is quitting Truck Sim forever. Then he went on this long rant about how he never had good candy as a kid for Halloween, which he did. He was spoiled, little bastard. And how kids today are spoiled because they get all the good stuff. Old man ranting at the clouds, dude. And of course, the money was still not there. And you know what that means? He now talks about gaining momentum.
Again, here's how we gotta look at it. Right now we're at 83 bucks. We need 67 to hit the goal. It's not gonna be one person here dropping $67. It's gonna be one person does a sub, and another person says, oh, okay, well, I'll see that. I'll do a $5 super chat. And then one person says, all right, I'll do a $7 tip. And then one person drops 2 memberships, and before you know it, we're already there. That's how it works. It's called momentum. It's not, oh man, I gotta go crazy now. It's just give one little thing, and then other people get encouraged, and then they give, and then they give. That's how it works.
And now DSP is gonna be toxic and say he had more jobs than this one chatter, and he worked his ass off and blah blah blah. Phil, it's not a brag when you worked so many jobs and got fired from every single one of them and barely had time at each one. It would be more of a brag if you're saying, I worked for 20 years at this job, or I worked at 10 years at this job, or I got promoted at this job, they gave me a raise at this job. No, you just got fired at every single job. And eventually, it's gonna happen online as well with YouTube and Kick.
When was the last time I had an actual job? Son, I had more actual jobs in my lifetime than you'll ever have in yours. I worked since the day I turned 15, son. All right, I wasn't even legal, and I was busting my ass at a job to make ends meet. So I don't want to hear your little sissy shit in my stream chat. Shut your little flapping lips there. Thank you to Slayer.
And people kept pressing him and wondering, why do you keep begging for money? You made over $457 earlier. And he said, it's a different stream and a different goal. Just because he got good money on the first stream doesn't mean he shouldn't get good money on the second one, and he has to beg. And are you ready for the most cringe thing ever, because the money was still not there? And he starts singing about needing a hero, and his definition of hero is giving him enough money to hit the goal. What a loser.
Here we go. Come on, we need a hero. We need a hero. Holding out for a hero to the end of the night. He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be larger than life. We need a hero to support tonight's American Truck Simulator stream. He's gotta donate $44 to keep alive this dream. We need a hero. Do-do. 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 Oh, come on. Let's go.
Here we go. Come on, we need a hero. We need a hero. Holding up for a hero to the end of the night. He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be larger than life. We need a hero to support tonight's American Truck Simulator stream. He's gotta donate $44 to keep alive this dream. We need a hero. Do-do. Do-do. What's that? Do-do. Oh, come on. Let's go.
Then apparently, DSP's hero was Slayer. You know how fucked you are if Slayer is your hero? And he put this in chat. DSP Gaming, I think you need to check the tips page directly as you haven't gotten the notification. Of course, this is DSP once again sitting on tips so he can milk more money from his audience. And then he checked it All of a sudden, he has $42 from Slayer and saves Truck Sim. So what DSP does in this as well is he doesn't sit on the PayPal website. He looks at his emails. That is right. He waits for an email to come in to say that he has a PayPal tip, instead of, just sitting on the PayPal website. And he titles this as the Level 1 Podcast, TwitchCon Assault, which he makes about himself, Fake Member Bombs, and Miyamoto Shocks. Level 1 Podcast. And now we get the Monday, and the very first thing we see is a YouTube lawyer saying how DSP will have a very hard time suing his detractors.
Bob Starsky says, hey, Andrew, DSP says if he cannot make money, then he will sue his detractors. How could he get a lawyer? I've talked about this many times. That's not going to work. You can't just sue your detractors. Now, if they've defamed him, he can. But here's the problem. He needs to prove his defamation. And the other thing is, he would need to show all of his finances. And a lot of people don't want to do that and expose themselves to that, right? And that's reasonable. But I don't think DSP is going to get rich off suing his detractors. Bob Starsky says, apologies, Andrew. I meant restreamers specifically. DSP wants to restreamers, but only if he can no longer make money. He should, it's like do it or don't do it, but don't just sit on it forever. I mean, there is a point at which he's sat on it too long. And I know that, once again, a lot of people want me to comment specifically. I don't know which ones he's talking about or not talking about, right, in terms of the restreamers. So I don't know exactly who he's talking about suing. So, it depends on, once again, a fair use analysis, which can go a lot of different ways.
And I always found this funny. And once you see this and you hear this, you'll never unhear this.
Is it just me, or can I hear SpongeBob laughing at me? Wait a second. His laugh sounds very familiar. He sounds like Darkside Phil. You have to speed up his laugh to make him sound like SpongeBob. So it's almost like DSP is the deflated version of SpongeBob. Oh my god. Darkside Phil. DSP. Deflated SpongeBob pissing himself. I've cracked the code!
And now DSP's gonna go on a rant about the trolls and the detractors making fun of his wife, and how she had to stop streaming with Phil because they kept making fun of her, and how everyone is morally bankrupt because they revel in her appearance. And it even goes as far as to say, laughing at my wife is just like watching kids die in a burning building.
Like literally a single one of you, if you laugh at people who bully others online, if you enjoy their content, if you support it, you're fucked. You actually are mentally cracked. You're mentally deficient. You should seek help. You should go talk to professionals about it, because they'll counsel you on how to get better and how to repair your psyche. Because normal people don't revel in the pain of others, particularly innocents who have nothing to do with anything, right? If there was a preschool that burned down, would you laugh that the kids died in the fire? Do you think that's funny? Some people do. I'm not kidding you. Some people do. Ha ha ha. Yes, this is great. No. That's not cool. That's not something to laugh at. Actual human misery is not funny. It's not something to revel in and be happy about. It's just not. Anyway, you see my point, right? So that's why my wife isn't part of my content.
And remember last year, when DSP was supposed to do co-op with his wife for the Beyond Two Souls, he said she was tired from work, kept making excuses, kept saying, it's gonna happen, it's just a matter of time, and then kept saying, she's having health issues, so she can't do it, and she can't stream. Oh, guess what? That was another lie. He lied about his wife's health again. Because now he's saying, she didn't come on to the streams, didn't do the co-op, because the trolls made fun of her, and she didn't want to be on stream. DSP cannot stop lying about his wife, and even goes so far as to saying, just like the clickbait games that he refuses to play so people can't farm him, he's now starving detractors of any content of his wife. And I'll just say this, Phil, even if she's not even on screen, we can still make fun of her. And we know it gets to you, it pushes your buttons, and you can't let it go because of your micro e-peanut and your inflated ego.
Actors and haters bring up my wife so much is very simple, because we starve them of content for her. So because they have nothing, they want what they can't have. Get it? If she was on the stream every day, it wouldn't be a big deal anymore because she's on the stream every day. And therefore, it would become a commonplace thing. They wouldn't care. But because she's not on the stream, because she's only been in very few pieces of my content ever, and we've given them nearly nothing to ever work with, they can't stop obsessing. They literally hyperfixate on my wife, trying to get information about her past, about her physical appearance, about all kinds of shit, because they're not allowed to have that information. It's none of their business.
Now remember, Phil, during Side Scrollers, you are the one that put out that she had a restraining order on her ex. When you first started dating her and was saying, oh, she's gonna move in, you will not be able to find anything on her, you challenged people to find out anything about her. They found out her YouTube channel, her Twitter, her social media. And you are also the person that leaked the DMs about her having cancer. Of course, you lied about it. Every single thing we know about your wife is because of you, jackass. And now DSP's being so delusional about his workouts. He's saying he was working out 6 days a week, and he's working out so much that his wife told him, you need to stop working out as much. And of course, this could be a plea from Kat to Phil saying, please spend time with me, I'm lonely. And DSP thought, okay, that just gives me more time to drink, dude.
I work out almost every day. In fact, I was working out so much that my wife told me that I have to take more time off. She's like, you're working out 6 days a week. You got to cut back. You're supposed to have more rest time. And I said, all right, I'll work out 5 days a week. So I am. I'm working out 5 days a week now. I'm going to work out 5 straight days, alternating muscle groups. Then I'm going to take 2 days off to recuperate. And I'm going to go back to working out again. So, but it's just hilarious. These idiots, they just can't believe it. Oh, he's working out? Yeah, I am. Why do you think I'm looking better? Why?
Then he was talking about eating healthy and says he wants to hit the goal by 2:30 so he can do DSP tries at Taco Bell. Make that make sense. And we have RGB Lover on Kick. You can milk a man. And then of course, DSP does what DSP does. Every single DSP tries it is negative, what they did wrong, why it's bad, and it's the same recycled, regurgitated ideas and thoughts every single time. And the dents pay $1,500 each time. And one of the things he was complaining is that the taco was not dripping with Frank's Red Hot sauce. That is right. He wanted sauce dripping out of his burrito, but he also made a fuss about the chicken sandwich from Burger King having too much sauce on it. Make that make sense. And you can see how delusional he is. He doesn't know the price of anything. He doesn't know how regular people budget and spend their money. And he says, since he can afford to eat $80 Mexican food, therefore, people should also do the same. And before this, he looked at the menu, saw everything that was on it, buys it, then gets upset because it comes with what it says. And of course, what this is he wants something to complain about. So in the past, when he said, they forgot to give me this, they forgot to give me that, he can rage farm over that and make clips and videos. But now that he actually gets what he ordered, he can't have the same rage as before. And he gets a grilled cheese burrito and then asks, why is there cheese grilled on the burrito? And this man is absolutely hilarious in the wrong ways. See, he's funny when he's unintentionally funny, but when he tries to be funny, it's so cringe that it's horrible and makes people want to turn off the stream. So DSP thinks that Frank's Red Hot sauce is supposed to be one of the hottest sauces in the world. Absolutely delusional. Like, there's kids that eat this stuff. And I love Frank's Red Hot sauce, but it is so watered down. It barely ever registers like a tingle in my mouth. And of course, Mr. Negative again. Do not eat this food. It's overpriced slop. And then in the review for the fast food, he's telling people not to eat fast food. Phil, if they're watching your video on a fast food review, the worst thing you can tell them is to not eat fast food. They're there for a reason. And then push this on Twitter. You're not going to want to miss this episode of DSP Tries It, folks, because it literally set me off. It's uploaded now to DSP Reacts, so I'll let you know when it's live. So DSP said last week, I'm not going to give the trolls rage bait content anymore. I'm not going to let them clip farm me. And what does he do tonight? He fires up Ninja Gaiden 4. That definitely will not be clipped and farmed, and definitely will not be a troll rage bait game. And of course, he's late again, and after almost 2 decades doing this, he still refuses to buy and or download the game before the stream. He has to wait until he hits start stream, then download the game, wasting everyone's time. we have 4 Bang. For a guy always so worried about schedules, bro isn't very punctual. Then another person, he's downloading the game. Then got another person laughing, Cheyenne, Taylor, 4 Bang. Ain't got nothing to do with being on time to start. Just saying. Brilliant. This is how you don't play Ninja Gaiden 4. And then DSP Gaming, banning all retarded socks first, lol. Then of course, because Kick is not supported, he's calling them freeloaders and telling them they have to support. But remember, contributions are not mandatory. Then he gets to the very first challenge room, and guess what happens? He fails over and over for almost 40 minutes, and says he might have to rage quit this game, or all the challenge rooms in the game. If you want to see how Ninja Gaiden 4 is going for DSP, let's take a look right now.
Is there yellow paint? Does the game have yellow paint? The game has yellow paint! Yellow paint is back. For stupid gamers like me. Oh, the yellow paint that I can see. La la la, yellow paint, yellow paint.
The only way to really vanquish the Dark Dragon
God, garlic breath, come on,
is to
back
break
away.
the magic seals, complete the resurrection ritual, and purify.
Look at this! Are you fucking kidding me? I'm in the middle of a combo in the air. I hit. This guy just walks in, swing in place with super armor, and he takes my whole energy bar. Fuck this game. This is fucking terrible. I just lost half my energy bar to something I couldn't even see. Look, I'm gonna die again. I am dying again. There's nothing I can do about it. Yo, this is the worst shit. Now he has super armor back in the middle of my combo. Why did he get super armor? Look at this. Again. I can't do anything. Yo, this is atrociously awful. This is literally some of the worst combat I have seen in any fucking fight, in any game with combat. It's really badly executed. And they think this is good. Oh, it's challenging. That's not challenge. You have everyone hitting me from off the screen. They all have super armor. I can't control the game because the tracking doesn't work. Wow. Oh my God.
Too good for practice, huh?
And every time you die, completely have to unlock your skills from scratch, because why would the game save anything that you do for an upgrade? That would require brain power of a game developer to put in there, huh? They probably apparently didn't fucking have any. Oh my God.
And then a very interesting thing happened. DSP said his wife is going to make her own sides this year for Thanksgiving. If you remember, every single year, DSP's mom buys him QVC food and sends it to him. Earlier this year, there was rumors that DSP's mom died. Could the rumors be true? And DSP yet again complained about Ninja Gaiden 4, and complaining this time that there's no aim assist on Ninja Gaiden 4. What a pathetic gamer. And then we have the daily wrap, and he's complaining that he has to stay late to play games, aka beg for money because the goal's not hit. And he says, if the goal's not hit tomorrow on Ninja Gaiden, it is gone, he is through with it, it's wage quit, dude.
It's already 9:45, I gotta get out of here. This is 2 hours, it's the end of the night. No, keep going. I'm like, no, I can't, guys. There's been nights recently where I've gone way too long. Last night was notably one of them when I played Truck Sim, and I barely spent any time with my wife before we went to sleep, and she was really sad. Because, you know, today she had work, and she wanted to spend time with me last night, and we had, like, no time. And she's rightfully upset. I can't stay late every night for this shit. All right? So I was upset because I felt like I wasted a whole half an hour of the stream. So get this. It's the end of the night. I realized I haven't gotten a single contribution in over an hour. So we were at 110 within an hour, and then literally 0 for the next hour because I was hyper-focused on this dumb-as-fuck challenge room. Wasn't interacting with the audience, wasn't, having a good time, and people don't want to see that. Again, people want to see me enjoy myself, chill and relax, interact, and have a good time. That challenge room single-handedly spoiled the stream, and everyone was having a bad time because of it. I'm serious. People who were having a good time left. They said, fuck this. Complete ass. In 2025, they fucked the game up with that challenge room. They should have never had it that early in the game. At least have the challenge rooms once you have all your abilities. But stupidity. So anyway, we ended the stream at 1:15. That's it. I'm serious. We made $110 in less than an hour, and then we made $5 for like the last 90 minutes of the stream, and we didn't hit the goal. Now, here's the truth. I'm not going to overall blame the game. The game was good until that challenge room, and people were having a good time with it. The challenge room ruined the night. If we didn't do that challenge room, I guarantee you we would have seen the end of that first stage, the first boss, and we would have hit a goal. It's just funny how shit derails. Every time that I rage, no one cares anymore. At least my positive fan base, they don't want to see rage. They want to see fun. And it's not fun to rage when the game is being unfair and stupid. So, I'm actually upset. I'm not upset at the audience. I'm upset at the game for doing it like that. That was bad game design. Very well, the rest of the game could be outstanding. We'll find out because I am going to try it again tomorrow. It sucks that we didn't hit a goal tonight, but I want to give it another shot tomorrow regardless. At the audience, I'm upset at the game for doing it like that. That was bad game design. Very well, the rest of the game could be outstanding. We'll find out because I am going to try it again tomorrow. It sucks that we didn't hit a goal tonight, but I want to give it another shot tomorrow regardless. Now, tomorrow, if we get low attendance, low engagement, and we don't hit a goal again, fuck this game. Seriously, it's a Game Pass game. And what's shown is that the classic that I played earlier this year, right, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, is actually better than the new one. That's pretty funny when you think about it, but I don't know. Is it really? I don't know, but I tell you, I was disappointed. I was, as soon as I hit that challenge room, I was like, what did they just do to this game? Why did they do it like that? I don't know. So we'll give it another shot tomorrow night. We'll see if it's any good. And if it does get better, then I'll keep playing it. But really, I need you guys to come by tomorrow and support that stream because it didn't hit the goal tonight, and that pisses me off. The game screwed the stream because it had to have that stupid room so early.
And now we get to Tuesday, and one of the very first things we see is a super chat from Charmin Falcon. How familiar does this sound? DSP, dude, I remember watching your Heavy Rain playthrough as it was dropping. Good times, hope you've been well. And DSP said, you gotta address how your life is. My life is a party, man. I get to come to stream every day and chill with a bunch of people, enjoy games for a living, and have a good life. So you know, I like to wear the attire that reflects that. Then we have Ben at the bottom here. I get to chill with cool people, and we have a picture of DERICH. And DSP is still delusional about his non-existent dormant muscles. He says, everyone noticed he buffed up. He says, he never had any intention of mentioning it. He looks the exact same, actually worse. And he thinks, in the springtime, he's gonna have a muscular body and his muscles are gonna be rippling. Then he gets wailed out, $100 in 2 hours, and people ask him why he's upset. And he says, he has goals, and hitting the goals is called success. And he's now gonna defend him being an e-beggar, saying he's not begging, he's reminding people that he puts out good content. And Phil, if you have to remind people that you put out content and that they like it, there's a chance that you're guilt tripping them, you're wearing them down. Oh, and I forgot, oh yeah, you're begging like a bitch.
This is what dunces don't understand. Oh, you're such an e-beggar. No, I call attention to the fact that I'm putting out entertaining streams. I'm listening to what my viewers want. I'm giving them what they want, but I need support to keep it. But I don't have time. I'm not going to sit here and beg and, you know, this sucks. We absolutely should have hit a goal for tonight for the premiere of this game, and we didn't.
Then he was talking about the Mike Klum documentary that never came. And he said the documentary was going to show him saying, fuck this, and pushing through all the bullshit his detractors say about him. But he canceled it, and said that none of it would matter, and everyone would still lie about him anyways. Remember, same guy who said to Stutter and Craig, it doesn't matter if I lied, it's still an answer. And he's begging yet again, on the late stream, give me money, or I'm quitting this game. And he also went on this delusional rant as well, saying that because he was in the challenge room, he had no time to beg people for money, and that's why he didn't hit the goal. And he officially announced that the Hawaiian shirts are being replaced with more professional shirts for the holidays. However, he said, in the springtime, you're gonna be surprised how muscular his arms are. And then he wanted people to support because his lights are working properly. Bottom of the barrel, endless barrel. And he's now telling people, we need to bounce back. You need to give me more money. Don't worry about that one day where I got $450 on the first stream. Just worry about today and today's goal. You need to give me money, dude, or else this game is gone.
Stuttered and didn't hit the goal. So now we have 2 straight streams we didn't hit the goal. We need to hit the goal tonight. Now, I mean it. We need to hit the goal tonight. So let's get some support rolling right now for the stream before we begin. Let's get super chats. Let's get subs. Let's get memberships. Let's get kicks. Let's get tips. Let's get support rolling. Let's get that momentum back that we had last night. Let's jump back into the game and kick some ass. And let's do it. Let's take out the demons. Let's do it for Ryu Hayabusa. That's still just as disgusting as the first time we saw it, man. That's nasty. Gee, thanks, Squirt Rocks, but it deleted your animation. What happened?
I remember earlier in the week, he said he got those 300 memberships, fake memberships from Porterog. He now says he got $10 out of it because they used a VPN. And it always twisted to his narrative. If you guys remember last year, there was someone who dropped a bunch of Argentina memberships on him, and he said it was enough to hit a goal. But he also says they're pennies on the dollar, but now says they're $10. It's funny how it keeps changing. And nobody at FGC ever liked DSP, past, present, or future. But he wants a documentary about his FGC days, and says he's more fitted than anyone else who's gotten one. Well, I can sum it up for you, Phil. You're a drunk, you're an asshole, you treated people like shit, nobody wanted to do anything with you, and you're basically forced out. There you go, there's your documentary. Now if you're wondering how the second night of Ninja Gaiden 4 went, let's take a look and see how it went for DSP.
Take that, you mother bitch.
Got it.
People person is asking me, can I see a distinct difference between 60 and 120 frames? Let me put it this way, yes, but it's not like, oh, game changing. I would say 30 to 60 is essential. Anything lower than 60, it's very hard to react to stuff in a game. But 60 to 120, what it is, it looks fancy, like really fancy with what you're seeing, but it doesn't really necessarily help me respond or anything like that from what I see. So what? Again, attack from behind. I don't even know what hit me. Because the guys, you notice what's happening is I go to hit one enemy, and then the guys who have super armor somehow are in the stage, which you don't even know where they are, and they hit you from another direction. And then they hit you for giant damage. So now your flow is done, and now you got to try to start over, but then someone else hits you from off the screen. So I'm wondering, where is the free flow that they're expecting me to have? Like, what am I doing wrong here? There's obviously something I'm not... Look, there we go. It happened again, where I got hit from off screen by the spear guy. I don't know what they were expecting me to do differently there. Oh, there it goes. I go to hit the spear guy, and the guy with the sword hit. See that? Cop Top 12 with a $5 super chat says, would you ever be interested in doing Cooking with the King again? Those are goated. Dude, those videos are from 2010 and 2011. If not even before. I haven't done one in like 15 years. It's not coming back. I don't want to show anyone stuff in my kitchen just because these people are so mentally deficient on the internet that they stalk me so badly. They would try to take scenes from the kitchen and do horrible things with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even kidding. Like, they've done messed up stuff before. My content is limited to what is in my studio, and that's it. And I'm not cooking in my studio. So the days of me doing cooking are 15 years in the past and not coming back. Okay. Noob says, listen to this. It's crazy how you know everything about the game, but it's a blind playthrough. What are you talking about? I learned it on the fly. You saw me learn it piece by piece as I played. What do I know? Basic stuff about games? Like, I played Ninja Gaiden 2 earlier this year, so I already had some prerequisite knowledge of the franchise. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stay on that rail.
Better said than done. What? Noob says, listen to this. It's crazy how you know everything about the game, but it's a blind playthrough. What are you talking about? I learned it on the fly. You saw me learn it piece by piece as I played. What do I know? Basic stuff about games? Like, I played Ninja Gaiden 2 earlier this year, so I already had some prerequisite knowledge of the franchise. I don't know what you're talking about. Always something to say. It's really stupid. Seriously, these people.
And of course, we had a whale. He did a $100 super chat, but also did another $20 or $30. So he was accountable for about $130 of the $150 goal. And he says, can't do this all the time, but let's hit the goal. Then he tried to explain how the reason he ate so poorly and fast food all the time when he was fat as fuck is because he had money issues. But Phil, at the height of your YouTube, you were making millions of dollars. So what do you mean, money issues? That's right. You were just a lazy asshole who didn't want to cook, who ate fast food and thought he was better than everyone else. Then we have this from Super Arcade, who is Mike Watson, the person who famously said that DSP was a piece of shit back in the FGC days. Funny little story from a time when Jaha and myself were beefing with the infamous LOLCOW DSP. 300 the film was under current release, and there just happened to be a cardboard cutout of a shield in the room. What? Don't ask me why, but I told Jaha to grab it, rush DSP, knock him over, all while yelling, "This is Sparta!" Oh my god, and he actually did it. Later that day, in the parking lot incident occurred. Ha ha ha, what a fun memory. And we finally got the list of what games DSP will be playing on the Halloween Marathon. And look at this, 1, 2, 3 demos, a game he already has, and we have Left 4 Dead, which he's already played before, Project Zomboid, which he's gonna rage quit, SCP Contaminant Breach, demo, Mortuary Assistant, demo, No I'm Not Already a Human, he already has, Misside, I have no idea what that is, Clover Pit, demo, and Poppy's Playtime, which he already has. But remember guys, he can buy any game at any time, he's not broke, he's not destitute. And then we got this announcement from Wings of Redemption about how he's going on DSP's show on Monday.
Oh, by the way, I should probably announce this on a more popular stream. But me and Phil I'm supposed to be on Phil's show next Monday. Me and Darkside Phil will be on the same show next Monday.
And now we get to Wednesday. The very first thing DSP says in the pre-stream chat. This is a quiet chat. And of course, he has to drum up the money. He has to pull in those sick, degenerate bastards. And how's he do it? That's right, showing off his feet, dude. And despite DSP saying he's doing all the arm curls, he's doing all the sit-ups, he's doing all the bench presses, and all these other exercises, he says he can't do push-ups due to a weakness of his body. Make that make sense. And again, going on about how he's not bragging about working out. It's the detractors that are jealous of his body because detractors are weak-minded and weak-bodied. Think about how many times DSP has flexed on stream out of nowhere. Then DSP goes on to say that his body craves protein because he started working out. That is right. DSP wants all that milky white protein. And we knew this was going to happen eventually. Everything going back to pre-Kino, the gamer shirts, the vests, the hats. And now you are not allowed to talk about sports in his chat.
Sports over on Kick. No one here is talking about sports on the stream. This is not your private chat room, so shut up about it. No one cares. I don't want to see you guys talking about all sports leagues and shit. I'm not in that discussion. If you want to do that, go to the sports chat somewhere else. You want to talk to me? You tag me in the chat. You want to talk about me and my content? You want to talk about games, something that's pertinent to what you're watching? Great. Don't derail the fucking chat like an idiot, okay? I mean, it's been a long time since I had to say something like that, but I guess people just aren't so smart. Okay. So it's...
And of course, every single game, including Silksong, is now dropping his inputs. Then remember, last week when DSP said he maxed out the weights on his dumbbells, well, he now says he has still 2 more settings before it's maxed out. It's almost like you're lying about every single thing of your life, Phil. And of course, slow support, so you know what that means. If the goal's not hit, Silksong is gone. And then goes on to say that he cannot have a bad stream today, and he needs support. But remember guys, he's not destitute, he doesn't need money, he's good, he's not poor. But he needs that money. He really, really does. And he also said he's staying away from juicing with protein powder and instead enjoys protein pretzels. Remember too, he also eats the protein pasta too. And of course, yet again, one person saving the stream, and look at that, $60 of a fake tip. Then we have this in chat. I love this game and your content, but I'm simply not supporting because you keep asking for it. If you went a stream without asking, I'd donate regularly. And this was actually hilarious. So DSP finally beat the boss. However, he died immediately after the boss, and DSP doesn't know what happened.
What happened? I was healing. I had to heal. Nothing hit me and I just died. I literally have no idea what just happened. He didn't hit me. There was no attack.
And DSP says he is a powerful computer. You know what he's most grateful for about his powerful computer? Is that he's able to change fonts in OBS. Imagine having like a $3,000 computer and the thing you focus on is changing fonts in OBS. And this is really funny because on Monday, Wings of Redemption is going to be his guest on his show. And he's going to go off now that he lost weight naturally, the healthy way, and makes fun of people who had weight loss surgery, you know, like Wings. And this is a good way to start a conversation with Wings of Redemption.
Someone tipped $2. Says, do you find it strange a morbidly obese Paul Herman wannabe, I don't know who Paul Herman is, who attempted to lose weight and failed, is now making fun of your fitness journey? There's a bunch of overweight people who try to make fun of me constantly. It's hilarious. How do you call people fat if you're the whale in the room? I don't get it. Really. Like, you can't call someone fat because if you're fatter, then by comparison, they're not fat. You understand? Like, if you are a monster whale, how could you say someone else is fat? You can't. All you can say is you're fat. That's it. Or if you happen to find someone else fatter. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. These people are morons. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't give a shit about what they say. You know, me exercising and losing weight and actually getting healthy and toned and fit is for me and my family. That's who it's for. It's not for me to show off and act like I'm some kind of an Adonis online. I'm not. Idiots who want to make fun of it, it just shows that how, you know, just to be honest, who would make fun of that? People who were jealous, right? People who were jealous, people who were upset because for years and years, they liked to portray DSP as the big fat blob, right? They would draw me as this giant inflated blob stuffing his face with food. But you can't, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I haven't looked like that in ages. I admit, I used to be fat. I'll admit that wholeheartedly. The first few years I was on YouTube, I was a monster. And then I lost a lot of weight, then I gained some weight back, then I lost it. And now, last few years, I'm getting better and better, lower and lower. And now, like I said, last time I weighed myself, which was like a week or two ago, I was 188 pounds. And I'm gaining muscle mass. So what that means is the fat is burning off and being replaced with muscle. I'm still losing weight. You know, my arms are getting bigger, my torso. Oh my God. With the amount of sit-ups I'm doing now, my torso is like rock solid. The problem is the stupid spare tire around it. I got to get rid of that. That's going to take forever. Like, that's one of the hardest things you could do, especially when you're getting older. But really, like, for someone to look at someone who is actively trying to make their life better and make fun of it. And the other thing, thing too is, hey, guess what? I didn't get surgery and I'm not on drugs. I'm actually doing it like a normal person should through diet and fitness. Look what I'm drinking. Filtered water, not soda. There you go.
And in a weird moment, someone gives DSP $20 to name a Pokemon, and you'll never guess what the name is, and DSP has to clarify it's not that person.
And then we have to name this Trubbish, DERICH. And before anyone gets any thoughts, no, it's not anything negative related to me and my past or anything like that. This is something different. This is someone's real name, okay?
And man, look at Nightbot, again, MVP, holding down the chat. And DSP is revealed. Next DSP tries it is Domino's Pizza. Imagine that, another pizza. As Poems Past points out, complains fast food isn't innovative anymore. Skips over a bunch of places due to it. Ends up getting pizza for 500th time. And then DSP said the phrase, seasoning catered towards Italians. Poems Past, the seasoning? Italian seasoning. That is right. Imagine the seasoning with Italian in it. What a big brain. And DSP goes on to say that Pokemon is a good game. But why is it a good game? He says because he's getting money, it's a good game, but you're free to disagree. Again, every single decision this man makes is based on money. And now we get to Thursday, the last streaming day of the week for DSP. And here's a throwback of Wings Redemption saying how his wife, Kelly, is a better wife than DSP's wife. This should be interesting going into Monday.
My wife is so much better than DSP's wife when it comes to, like, you know, being supportive, wanting me to succeed. You know, like, I have a better person in my corner than Phil does.
And DSP responded to Mike Watson and said, you bullied and physically threatened me in real life for stuff I said in an IRC chat room while drunk one night and still brag about it 20 years later. The really funny part was easily beating you in the Street Fighter tourney. By the way, I just want to point out that tournament was 20 years ago, just after you did all that. Good memories, old man. Phil, you still brag about your 2004 EVO 4th place. The tournament you're bragging about beating him in is over 20 years old. And you were known, you even said yourself, you were a bad guy, you were a villain, you were a troll, you were drunk all the time, you pissed people off. So when people call you out on that and they push back on that, all of a sudden that's bullying, even though you were a prick to them first. Make that make sense. And then Mike Watson replies, you really want to start and talk to me directly? I called out the ugliness of your character so many years before you exposed yourself, and it was obviously spot on. But if you want to take this to another level, my door is always open. Don't ever speak to me again, you bitch. Then we have this from Otter, back in February this year, talking about Mike Watson.
It's funny because some people now are saying, well, Mike Watson was nice to you. I don't know. I haven't listened. I didn't hear the interview because I don't care. Like, if Mike Watson was nice to me, that's nice to hear that he's being a nice person in the current day. If he was mean to me, I don't really care either. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, anything he says has zero pertinence to me in 2025, zero relevance. So it doesn't really matter what he said. Why would I care? Right? I'm not going to be upset about it or whatever. I just don't care.
And multiple times throughout the years, DSP always said that Mike DM'd him and apologized for the way he treated him. Based on this interaction on Twitter, it doesn't sound like that at all. And look at DSP in his 20s, look at all that dormant muscle. And I also want to point out is that at this point he said he was a bodybuilder. Look at that body of a bodybuilder. Then we have Do You Guys Like Me, who says, can your wife hear you in the other room when you make fun of fat people and say they lack discipline? Then we have Tuh, who says multiple times, Down from the Rafters was active at 12 a.m. last night. Panda Lee was 17. He's divorced. He lied about his wife's cancer. He craves his protein pretzels. He's an alcoholic. He's sad. He's friendless. And at this point, Wings of Redemption would not guarantee a time to be on DSP's show for Monday, and DSP crashes out like DSP over Wings of Redemption.
All right, so thank you guys for the early support. Please keep it rolling, right? Let's keep it coming. And thank you for the early support before we start the game. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. Let's get to the topic everyone wants me to address. You guys have been asking me about this for 2 days, all right? So all of a sudden, out of the blue, a couple days ago, Wings of Redemption randomly said in the middle of his stream, out of nowhere, oh, well, I should probably mention this during the stream where I'm got more attendance, but let me just start talking about it. I'm going to appear, but I can't speak. I'm going to appear on Phil's show on Monday. So anyone who wants to see me hang out with Phil on Monday, that's happening, okay? And then again, apparently last night, Wings was playing Battlefield 6, and he mentioned it again. He said, yeah, on Monday I'm going to be on Phil's show, all right? But the weird thing is that he's not giving, like, many details or anything about it, right? He's just randomly, like, mentioning this as, like, a one-off quick thing. And so a lot of people, I guess, are dismissing it and saying, it's obviously he's just talking out of his ass, or, if Phil has said a million times that if Phil is going to be involved in anything, whether he's going to appear on a show or someone's going to appear on his show or there's going to be some kind of an event, DSP will bring it up. And DSP has said multiple times in the past, don't believe anything anyone else says, because a lot of people just talk. You'll hear it from him first. So that's why I think a lot of people have been like, this isn't a big deal. We don't really need to bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Here's the deal. Here's what's actually going on. Let me explain to everyone to get it out in there publicly in the air. You know me. I don't talk about anything unless it's ready to go. It's locked in and guaranteed and exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you guys, if I had told you about all stuff that I've worked on in the last year and a half, you'd probably be very disappointed. There was a lot of people I was talking with who I thought would be on the show, who I thought I could do some content with, and none of it worked out. And I've told you why. Several people who actually were very interested in working with me then found out about Kiwi Farms. Okay, I'm just being honest here. Kiwi Farms, the website full of degenerates and mentally ill people who literally will dox the living shit out of anyone who has involvement with me or other people who they have termed LOLCOWs for literally no reason. Like, it serves no purpose. It doesn't hurt me, but they will do this. So multiple people who I've tried to work with over the last year to year and a half have said, we'd like to work with you. The content sounds like a great idea, but we just can't take the chance that ourselves, our viewers, our family members, our moderators are all going to get doxxed on Kiwi Farms. So therefore, we can't work with you. That's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration. That happened 3 different times in the last year from people who I want to collab with. Okay? And I never said the word Kiwi Farms. They did. That's how infamous it's become. So when you say, oh, website like that, oh, it's fine, it's not harmful. No, it absolutely is 100%. Absolutely is a horrible place, and it shouldn't exist. Okay? Now, in regards to what's going on with Wings, okay? The reason that you have not heard me bring this up whatsoever is because it's not a lock. Nothing has been solidified. Nothing has been set in stone. Nothing has been scheduled, okay? Here's what's been going on. As you know, and I've talked about this publicly for a while now, for a long time, I tried to get Wings of Redemption to do something with me, whether it was just appear on a show, for an interview, for a podcast, hell, to team up and do some gaming together, whatever it may be. And every time that I made the attempt, here's what would happen, okay? Either I would be completely and utterly ghosted, where I would get no response whatsoever, or I would initially get a response, and he would seem interested, only for him to later on then ghost me. And the weirdest part about it was, he would talk about it publicly in his own content. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do stuff with Phil. Like years ago, he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Battlefield with Phil, and I'm gonna do this and that. And it wasn't Battlefield, I think it was Call of Duty or whatever. But the weirdest part was, he never spoke to me about this stuff. He would just talk about it on his own streams, right? Then I would try to reach out to him, and he would ghost me. Now, a year ago, okay, I had reached out to both Wings of Redemption and Boogie to be potential guests for the Level 1 podcast when I was trying to get guests for the show. This was last fall, okay? Both initially seemed interested. Both responded and seemed interested. But then all of a sudden, Wings stopped responding, and I'm not even kidding you, like Keemstar was like, oh, well, you gotta have Boogie on first. What do you mean I gotta have Boogie on first? Like, I should have whoever I want on my show on first. But it seemed like, I don't know if it was a situation where Boogie just really wanted to be on my show, and so he was like, going with his boss, Keem, and be like, listen, I really want to go on Phil's show first. Can you make that happen? I'm not sure what it was, okay? But anyway, I was basically outright overtly told, the only way you'll ever have Wings of Redemption on your show is if you have Boogie on first. The thing was, when I asked you guys a year ago, are you interested in having Boogie on the show? You guys said, no, we're not. If you remember, that was the breakout scandal where it was revealed that he had been lying about having cancer for a long time to try to strum up sympathy from his viewers and try to raise funds. And people were just disgusted with the guy. They wanted nothing whatsoever to do with him. They were like, no, we just don't want to keep this guy on your show. We don't think it's going to add anything. We don't think the conversation will be interesting. So I listened to feedback. I was like, all right, if you guys don't want it, then I won't do it. So basically I said, forget it. I don't want Boogie on the show. If you remember, we were even talking about doing it, and he was not even capable of like sending me a Discord information so I could add him to the Discord and then trying to schedule when he was going to come on. It was like seriously, it was like the biggest hardship and endeavor. Now the funny thing is, let's see. I was easily able to appear on Kino Casino multiple times. They appeared on my content multiple times fine. We had no problem getting Junie King to show up, Stuttering Craig to show up. I'm not a hard guy to work with. You just have to have like common sense and some basic intelligence and some work ethic. And sadly, I hate to say it, but I think some people just don't. And so after like going through hoops to try to talk to Boogie to get him on the show, I had enough. I said, I just don't care anymore. I just lost complete interest. I don't give a shit. My audience doesn't want it. I'm tired of working with this guy because he's fucking so disorganized. Enough. So I just completely, maybe 2.5, okay? I last talked to him, and where we were at was, send me your Discord info so I can send you a Discord invite. That way we'll be on each other's friends list. Then let's lock in the exact time that you're going to appear, and then I'll talk about the show, okay? He sends me his Discord info. I send him the invite. That was over 2 days ago. He hasn't added me to Discord. He hasn't responded. I went back to him again and said, hey, did you get my Discord invite? Hasn't responded. Okay. Don't know what time he's going to be on the show. Like, do you see my point? Does it sound familiar? It sounds like exactly what happened with Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're interested. They really want to do it. But then when I try to get the details locked in, where are they? It's been over 2 days. He's not talking. And before you say, oh, he's been sleeping for 2 days like Swaggy just said, no, he's streaming. So is he, again, purposely dodging me? Because now he's having second thoughts? That doesn't make sense because he's literally saying in these streams that he's going to be on the show on Monday. Now, all I can do is guess. Here's my guess. Wings and Boogie are the kind of people who literally wait till the last minute for everything. They literally just go to the absolute last minute procrastination, okay? In Wings' mind, he doesn't have to actually add me on Discord or tell me what time he's going to be on the show until 5 minutes before. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But it seems like to me that's how these people are. That's not how I am, okay? I have a very analytical planning mindset. I like to have my schedule laid out throughout the entirety of a week. Okay, I do. I like to have my schedule completely laid out so I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. I literally have the schedule plastered all over my channel, my X account. You guys know where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing at almost all times for about a week. Okay, now those things change from time to time. But hey, at least you know. And people have praised me over the years, saying, listen, you can hate on Phil and say his content sucks, but no one's going to say that guy doesn't work a lot and work hard. He's got a set schedule. He's there for that schedule. He's got the content he promises. He doesn't overpromise and underdeliver. I'm not one of these people that, oh, I just randomly turn my stream on. Everyone rushed to the stream. No, you know when my stream is on. That's why every time I turn on my stream, I have consistent viewership. That's something that I think a lot of people need to learn. If you actually want to get consistent viewership and consistent support, then you have to be consistent. Because it comes hand in hand. Your consistency, you'll get consistent results if you're consistent. Okay? So, in regards to this situation, I don't have Wings on my Discord yet. I don't have a guaranteed time he's showing up. Therefore, I haven't announced his appearance. That's how I am. But now he's talking about it so much, I had to address it on my show. Now, by the way, I have absolutely no hard feelings and no ill will towards him because of this. I wish that he had the same kind of mind that I do, the analytical, planning out style mind. Like I said, I literally like have an outline of shit. Like when I have a day off, I'm not shitting you. When I have a day off, okay, I plan the shit I'm doing during the day. What do we got to do today? Oh, we got to go to Costco. We got to go to the grocery store. We got to go to the pet store. We got to go over here and do this. We're going to go do this. What about dinner? Well, what food is in the area that we're going to be in that day for dinner? So let's now weigh and balance the different places that we could eat. Oh man, we just had Mexican food a couple weeks ago, so we can't do that. So instead, maybe we could do this. This is how my mind works. And for some people, that might sound crazy. It might drive you nuts. Like, why does your mind work like that? Don't you ever do anything sporadic? Oh, I do. There's certainly times where I'm just driving around. Oh, there's something interesting. Let's just check that out. But for the most part, that's how my mind has always worked. It's planning everything out. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And that's how I like to run my business. So that's why you don't hear me casually saying, oh yeah, Wings is going to be on. Because he hasn't been locked yet. He's not a locked appearance. He apparently thinks he is, even though he's not on my Discord, and we don't even have a time frame yet that he's showing up on Monday. But, you know. So anyway, that's what's going on. So here's the thing. I would absolutely positively love to have him on the show on Monday, just to hang out. Just a hangout session. Whatever topic comes up, comes up. Okay? But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen because we haven't locked it in yet. So he can talk about it as much as he wants on his own streams, but until he responds to me, the person who runs this show, nothing is set yet. Okay? He needs to add me on Discord and he needs to say, okay, I'm going to show up at this time. Because here's what I would like to do. Start the show like I usually do around 11:30. Do about a half an hour build up. Get you guys all hyped up for his appearance till like noonish. Then around noon, get him on the show. Have him hang out for about an hour, hour and a half. And then after that, do our usual decompression where we hang out for like an hour and we talk about what just happened. I answer questions. I do shout outs because here's the thing. If he's on the show, all right, it's going to be him and me hanging out. It's not going to be him and me and giant pop-ups coming on the screen of trolls trying to fuck with this guy or anything. No, he's giving me his attention. He's giving me his time. That's a valuable asset. Therefore, I give him my respect. So there will not be pop-ups. There will not be bullshit going on. I won't be doing shout-outs. It's just going to be him and me hanging out. After that ends, then we have the decompression where we can talk. I can do shout-outs. You know what I'm saying? Just like the previous interviews that I've done. It'll be exactly the same, conducted the same. All right? Now, also, the crazy stuff that people are saying. Oh, this will lead to content, and this will lead to this and that, and this. I don't know what's going to lead to anything. All right? Just to be honest with you. Like, I just want to hang out with the guy and just see how it goes. Because for years and years and years, people have said you guys should hang out, have a conversation or whatever, and we've never done it, right? So this may be a first step towards something greater. This may be a one and done. No one knows, right? Every time that I did an interview last year, I had no clue how it was going to go, and they all went different directions, right? I think, no exaggeration, like every single interview I did went differently than probably how originally I thought it was going to go. I thought the Keemstar interview would be completely contentious. It was completely the opposite. I thought with Stuttering Craig, by the end of the interview, we were going to bury the hatchet, and literally, it went completely the opposite way. You know? So, who knows? You know? What would I like this to be? I would like to just hang out with Wings for about an hour, have a good time, talk about various topics, get his opinions on stuff, I'll give my opinion on stuff. Maybe we'll find some common ground. Maybe we'll completely disagree on certain topics as well. Maybe we'll give each other advice. Maybe we'll laugh at each other. Who knows, right? I would hope that by the end we don't hate each other's guts, but maybe that'll happen too. I don't know. You never know. Like, seriously, I don't know. But who cares? It's something to do, right? It's something different to do, right? So, let's see how stuff goes, shall we? All right. So, as soon as I hear from Wings on when he's going to appear, if he's okay with what I just laid out, which was, you know, he comes out around noonish my time. I don't know what time that is his time. And that, you know, we're good. That's what we'll do on Monday. But I don't know. We'll find out. All right. We'll see if he actually adds me on Discord because I sent him the invite. Right. So he has to add me and then we got to get this all worked out, but he hasn't confirmed anything yet. Okay. There you go.
And then the Argentina memberships came in, including Keto Casino Gaming. And look at that picture, a fat cat. And is your wife still a beast, LOLCOW? Now let's take a look how Premiere Day did for Tormented Souls 2 with DSP.
Why don't you put on some fucking pants instead of ripped pantyhose? You're wear that on a trip, huh? she's definitely not wearing travel attire. You know what I'm saying? Like a dress that's half longer on one end than the other, ripped pantyhose. You could have worn some pants, you know? Especially for a long trip to a place you've never been before. Just saying, people are not very practical. A couple of quick shout outs. We have Caterade.
And then DSP went on a rant about how YouTube changed everyone's username. And of course, what this means is that it is harder for people to impersonate other people, but it also means the sock accounts might get exposed. And DSP's freaking out about it, saying he knows better than the people that work at YouTube how to run the site. He's been on the site for almost 20 years, he knows better than them, and that they're all fucking morons, and they changed it without even asking anyone. What an entitled jackass. And one of the people that got exposed was Jade. Apparently, his handle on YouTube was his actual real name.
Jade, yes, I see what you're saying. Jade says that basically he's afraid to talk now in the chat because YouTube made this change. I hear you, Jade, and I'm sorry about it. I would recommend that you do change your channel name to just say Jade. That way people will know it's you. Because you're right, it's the channel name. It's messed up that they did this without asking, without telling anyone. You know, it's pretty effed up, actually, in my opinion, that YouTube would just do that change without asking.
And of course, Jade being so smart, he posted in chat that he's not comfortable talking because it's going to reveal his own name. And because he made that comment, it showed his real name. And then DSP went on to read off everyone else's name. And spoilers, there was a lot of people with their real name in their handle. And DSP said, well, I see blank and blank and blank and blank. He was doxing his own viewers live on stream. And you're never going to believe this, guys. The one time only, never seen before, never seen again. Kick badge offer is back. And of course, support is low, so you know what that means. Time to beg.
So if someone's interested in getting a badge today, that'd be great considering the fact that support has been frozen for 45 minutes and we're not even to halfway to our goal. If you wanted to get a badge today, I would offer it. That's how you do it.
And then we have Liar Side Phil on YouTube. Did you get ignored and left out of conversations a lot as a kid? Is that why it hurts your feelings so much when Wings, LTG, Boogie, Early Bird ghost you over DMs? Is that why you bite your fingernails? If you want any other proof that DSP is lazy as hell, he says buying seltzer water, bringing it home, putting it in the fridge, and throwing the bottle out when it's empty is a hassle and not worth it. If you want to see how chill and positive DSP is, he is now going to address Kick and the lack of support.
So all you guys watching over on Kick, you freeloaders, it's time. It's time to look inside of your wallets. See what's there. Go, and if dust comes up, well, you get a job. But if you have something in there, then maybe you should support the streams that you watch for free every night. I'm just saying. You'll make a man.
I want you to think about that. You watch this content for free every night, but you're expected to pay. So how is that free content, Phil? And this moment was absolutely hilarious. So we all know it's always the sock accounts that come around, gift memberships, wail out. And it's always, I've been a long fan since Heavy Rain or Fallout or whatever. Or you'll get the other ones like, I used to be a detractor, then I saw your video and went to your live stream and I changed it. But now a legit YouTuber is going to come in and gift memberships, and DSP is going to get freaked out by this and say, I'm not used to new people coming and supporting. And I always say this, give DSP enough time and he will expose his own lies in real time.
What brings you here? What brings you here to support the channel? I'm just curious because almost never do I get a new person coming by and supporting. Almost never. Usually it's like a regular or whatever, and you just dropped 20 memberships out of nowhere and you're a legit YouTube channel. So I appreciate that.
And this is absolutely pathetic. So someone was talking about sports yet again in the chat, and DSP took his VIP badge away because he was talking about sports. And then that person said in chat, can I have my VIP badge back, please? I promise I won't post sports scores again. And you know what DSP said right after this? Okay, I'll give you the badge back if you give me $50. That is right. He took the badge away after they already paid for it and demanded they pay again to get it back. DSP extortion. DSP says the company that was running his merch store shut it down without even telling him because there was no sales. He says after a month or two, people stopped buying stuff. It's almost like, Phil, you had the Kino rub and they stop supporting you. And someone says, I would have bought this, and DSP goes, well, you should have bought it. You should give me money, dude.
The Omega Man with a $2 super chat says he would probably rock DSP merch. Well, then you should have bought it when it was for sale. You're too late. The merch was for sale for like a year almost. I actually was right around the end of last year, right before, I think it was right before the holidays. And it lasted a good like 2-3 months where people bought stuff. And then after that, no one cared. So the shop's closed. And like I said, I'm really not going to stress about opening another shop when no one really cared this time. It's not a big deal. Obviously, people don't care about buying merch. They're just here to watch and support the streams. So.
And it looks like Wings of Redemption gave DSP a time slot, and he will appear Monday on DSP's pre-stream. And now let's see how DSP did for the week. Tips, $395, down 25%. YouTube Super Chat, $825, down 538%. YouTube members, 94, up 45%. Kick subs, 61, down 49%. Kick bits, $65, down 48%. See, for anyone else, this would be an amazing week. But for DSP, it's pittance. It's horrible, it's bad. You better give me money next time, dude. And that's how the week ended for DSP. If you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe to my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.